Let me show you something that genuinely surprised me. This is the DJI Pocket 4 Pro, officially called the Osmo Pocket 4P. Its telephoto lens has a larger sensor and a brighter f1.8 aperture, and on paper, it should be the telephoto king. And this is the Insta360 Luna Ultra. Its main wide-angle lens is actually brighter than DJI's at f1.8 versus DJI's f2. Yet DJI claims 17 stops of dynamic range versus Luna Ultra's 14. Two cameras where each one holds a different hardware advantage over the other, depending on which lens you are looking at. So, why at 3 times zoom does the Luna Ultra show more fine detail? Why does DJI's hardware advantage seemingly disappear the moment you zoom in? And perhaps the most shocking thing I discovered during this entire test, when you apply DJI's color LUT to Luna Ultra footage and Luna Ultra's color LUT to DJI footage, the two cameras become almost completely indistinguishable. I have been shooting with both of these cameras for weeks. In rain, in harsh sunlight, in dimly lit showrooms, at full sprint while being tracked by autofocus. And today, I am going to give you the most honest, most complete, and most useful comparison of these two cameras that exists on the internet right now. Stay with me until the end, because the final verdict might completely flip which camera you were about to buy. Quick specs breakdown. Alright, let's set the stage. Here is what we are actually dealing with. The DJI Pocket 4 Pro, officially called the Osmo Pocket 4P, is packing a 1-inch main camera sensor with an f2.0 aperture, paired with a 3 times optical telephoto lens that uses a 1/1.28-inch sensor and a brighter f1.8 aperture. That telephoto f1.8 aperture is a genuine advantage for portrait and close-up shooting in mixed light. The Pocket 4P also brings DJI's new DLog 2 profile, which DJI confirms delivers up to 17 stops of dynamic range. Importantly, this is specifically on the main wide-angle sensor using LOFIC technology. That is a cinema-level number for a pocket camera. It supports 4K at up to 240 frames per second for slow motion, and the telephoto lens goes up to 4K at 200 frames per second. It comes with 103 gigabytes of internal storage, and importantly, it sits at a lower price point than its competitor. One thing worth noting up front, the Pocket 4P maxes out at 4K resolution. There is no 6K or 8K mode on this camera, which is a real distinction from the Luna Ultra. Now the Insta360 Luna Ultra. Here is where the script in your head needs a correction if you have been following the pre-release specs. The Luna Ultra's main wide-angle lens uses a 1-inch sensor with a bright f1.8 aperture that actually makes it brighter than the DJI's main lens at f2.0. The telephoto lens uses a 1/1.3-inch sensor and an f2.0 aperture, which is slightly smaller and less light-gathering than the DJI telephoto. Both lenses carry Leica Summicron branding, and that co-engineering goes deeper than a logo. The Luna Ultra delivers 14 stops of dynamic range, slightly less than DJI's 17-stop claim on its main sensor, and it supports 4K at up to 240 frames per second in slow motion as well. It ships with 47 gigabytes of internal storage, and crucially, it is the only one of these two cameras that records in 8K at 30 frames per second in Dolby Vision. It also ships with a detachable OLED screen, which sounds like a small gimmick until you start shooting solo. Trust me, we will come back to that. Both cameras support up to 6 times lossless zoom range and Dolby Vision. On paper, this is almost a dead heat, which is exactly why the real-world test results are so fascinating. Daylight and color test. Let's start where most of your footage will actually come from regular daylight. Outdoor shooting, natural light. The kind of content you make on literally every trip or shoot day. The first thing you will notice, and you have probably already spotted it, is that the two cameras produce noticeably different color signatures straight out of the box. The Luna Ultra has a built-in color temperature sensor, which means it is constantly reading the ambient light and adjusting its white balance to match real life as closely as possible. The result is footage that looks natural, warm where warmth exists, cool where the light is cool. The DJI Pocket 4 Pro, by comparison, leans slightly cooler out of the box. The footage has a more cinematic, slightly desaturated tone that many professional videographers actually prefer because it leaves more room for color grading later. Worth noting, both cameras use a 1-inch main sensor, so neither has a raw size advantage on the wide lens. The real sensor size difference lives in the telephoto, where DJI uses a slightly larger 11.28-inch chip versus Luna Ultra's 1.3-inch chip. Neither of these is wrong. They are two different philosophies. The Luna Ultra says, here is what the world actually looks like. The DJI says, here is a clean, calibrated starting point for you to work from. Now let's look at medium and long-distance shots. Because we were shooting on a cloudy day with limited visibility, neither camera produced particularly vibrant wide shots, and that is actually useful information, because it reflects the reality of shooting in imperfect conditions, which is most of the time. In the DJI footage, fine details like distant leaves, building textures, and window reflections gradually lose sharpness as you move away from the subject. On first glance, the Luna Ultra appears to hold more detail. But here is the catch: when I zoomed in to 200%, the Luna Ultra footage shows clear signs of over-sharpening. That artificial edge enhancement is a processing choice, and it can look great as a social media thumbnail, but falls apart under close inspection. This is not a deal-breaker, but it is something to know before you make your decision. Log mode and color grading deep dive. Here is where things start getting genuinely interesting, and if you color grade your footage at all, pay very close attention to this section, because what I found here completely changed how I think about both cameras. Both cameras offer a log shooting mode, which is the flat, low-contrast recording format that gives you maximum flexibility in color grading. Think of log footage as raw clay, unfinished, dull-looking, but shaped perfectly for a professional sculptor. In standard mode, both cameras are doing all the color processing for you inside the camera. In log mode, you take control. When I compared the log footage from both cameras side by side, something interesting happened. The Luna Ultra's over-sharpening issue, the one I flagged in the standard mode test, completely disappeared in log mode. The footage became clean, detailed, and natural-looking. Meanwhile, the DJI's DLog 2 mode looks dramatically different from DJI's old DLog profile. It is much flatter, much more neutral, and clearly designed for serious colorists who know what they are doing. The 17 stops of dynamic range that DJI advertises, and this is a key detail, applies specifically to the main wide-angle sensor using LOFIC technology, not the telephoto. While the overcast weather conditions prevented me from fully stress testing that ceiling, the DLog 2 profile is clearly designed to preserve the maximum information in highlights and shadows. The Luna Ultra, at 14 stops of dynamic range, is no slouch, but there is a meaningful gap on paper, and the DJI's wide-angle footage in high-contrast scenes is where you will notice it most. But here is the experiment that genuinely shocked me. I accidentally applied DJI's official LUT to the Luna Ultra's log footage. The colors came back beautifully, almost perfectly, with only a slight shift in the yellow tones. Then I did the reverse. I applied Luna Ultra's LUT to DJI's log footage. The results? Nearly identical, almost indistinguishable. The only visible difference was that the Luna Ultra footage came out slightly darker, and after a minor exposure adjustment, even that difference vanished. What does this mean for you? It means the gap between these two cameras in log mode is almost entirely philosophical, not technical. Your color grade, your LUT, your creative choices, those will define your footage far more than which camera captured it. That is actually liberating information if you are trying to decide between them. Telephoto lens shootout. All right. This is the section that sparked the most conversation when I previewed this footage with other creators, and honestly, it is the one I am most excited to show you. Let's be crystal clear about what we are comparing here. The DJI Pocket 4P telephoto lens uses a 1/1.28-inch sensor, marginally larger than the Luna Ultra's 1/1.3-inch telephoto sensor. It also has an f1.8 aperture versus the Luna Ultra telephoto's f2.0. The telephoto aperture advantage is real and measurable, a brighter f1.8 telephoto means more light reaching the sensor in mixed conditions and more potential for background separation in portrait shots. By these hardware metrics, DJI should edge out the Luna Ultra in the telephoto test. Except that is not what the footage shows. When I zoomed in to 200%, I genuinely wondered if I had mixed up the files. The Luna Ultra showed more fine detail on the texture of the white horse statue, the roughness of the stone surface, the individual flecks of color. The golden reflections on the saddle showed more gradation and subtlety on the Luna Ultra. I checked the files 3 times. I had not made a mistake. My best theory for why this happens? The Luna Ultra has already received 2 significant firmware updates since its launch, each one refining its image processing pipeline. The DJI Pocket 4 Pro, being a newer release, is still in its early firmware stages. The hardware is stronger, but the software is still catching up. I am genuinely curious to see where the Pocket 4 Pro lands after 6 months of firmware updates. That is something worth keeping in mind if you are buying for the long-term. DJI has a strong track record of improving its cameras through software. However, and this is important, when I switched both cameras to log mode and retested the telephoto at 3x zoom, the gap closed almost entirely. In log mode, the DJI finally delivered on its hardware potential. The detail on the horse was fully restored. At that point, the cameras became remarkably similar in output quality, with the primary difference simply being the color signature after applying each camera's own LUT. The minimum focus distance is also worth noting. The Luna Ultra can focus as close as 15 centimeters in telephoto mode. The DJI loses focus considerably farther away. If you do any close-up product shots, food photography, or detailed creative work at zoom, the Luna Ultra has a genuine and practical advantage here. Zoom speed and logic. This is one of those things that nobody talks about in camera reviews, but after a full day of shooting, it becomes the thing that either makes or breaks your workflow. I am talking about how a camera handles zoom, not just how sharp the zoom image is, but how the camera thinks about zooming. Let's start with speed. At maximum zoom speed, the DJI Pocket 4 Pro zooms significantly faster than the Luna Ultra. If you are shooting action wildlife, sports, a child running across a field, that speed matters. You need to reframe fast, and DJI gets you there first. But here is where it gets nuanced. The Luna Ultra, while slower, produces considerably smoother zoom transitions. The acceleration curve is more cinematic. It steps through 2 times, then 3 times, then 6 times in a way that feels almost choreographed when it appears in your final edit. That gradual, intentional zoom feels professional in a way that DJI's faster zoom sometimes does not. The zoom logic is also fundamentally different between the two cameras. The DJI is designed for intuitive shooting. One press of the zoom button takes you directly from 1 times to 3 times. Another press takes you to 6 times. One more brings you back to 1 times. It is clean, fast, and idiot-proof. The Luna Ultra steps through focal lengths in sequence 2 times, then 3 times, then 6, which gives you more intermediate options, but requires more button presses to get where you are going quickly. At 12 times digital zoom, the DJI maintains a clear speed advantage. For vloggers and event shooters, this is a daily workflow consideration. For filmmakers who plan their shots in advance and move deliberately, the Luna Ultra's smoother transitions will matter more. Both approaches are valid, it just depends entirely on how you actually shoot. Low-light performance. Low-light is where smartphone cameras have historically embarrassed dedicated cameras, and it is where the 1-inch sensors in both of these cameras are supposed to shine. Let's see if they deliver. One important note up front: the DJI Pocket 4 Pro's dedicated low-light mode only supports 4K at 30 frames per second. To keep the comparison fair, I shot the Luna Ultra at 4K 30 frames per second as well, even though it supports 4K 60 in its own night mode. We are testing what both cameras can do at their best in equivalent conditions. The showroom we tested in is fairly well-lit, warm overhead lighting, reflective display surfaces, and mixed light temperatures. This is a common real-world shooting environment. It is brighter than a dark street, but darker than outdoor daylight. In these conditions, honestly, both cameras perform impressively. Noise is well controlled on both. The Luna Ultra's Leica-tuned color science gives it a slightly warmer, more natural feel in artificial indoor light, which matches how that environment actually looked with the naked eye. The DJI holds its cooler, more neutral tone even indoors, which can look a little clinical in warm-lit spaces, but maintains consistency with how it performs everywhere else. For truly dark environments, think dimly lit bars, evening street shooting, indoor concerts without professional lighting. Both cameras will face real challenges at higher frame rates, and neither one is going to replace a dedicated mirror-less camera for serious low-light work. But for the travel vlogger shooting in a restaurant, the content creator filming a hotel room unboxing at night, or the family documentary capturing a birthday dinner, both cameras are absolutely capable, and the Luna Ultra holds a slight edge in the warmth and naturalness of its indoor rendering. Lens flare and microphone test. 2 quick but important tests that most comparison videos rush past. Let's slow down and actually pay attention to these, because they come up constantly in real shooting. Lens flare is a fact of life for any camera pointed even near a bright light source. The Luna Ultra shows noticeable ghosting when you shoot directly into the sun. You get circular or oval lens artifacts that float across the frame. The DJI Pocket 4 Pro is not immune to this either. Under the same conditions, it produces a similar amount of ghosting. Neither camera has a magical solution to a fundamental optical physics problem. Both perform approximately equally here, and both recommend keeping your light source out of frame if you want clean images. Now, audio. This is one of those things where the difference is immediately obvious the moment you hear it. That is the DJI Pocket 4 Pro. Notice the clarity, the low-end warmth, and the way it handles the room without picking up too much ambient noise. And that is the Insta360 Luna Ultra. It has a slightly different tonal character, a touch more presence in the mid-range, which can make voices sound slightly more forward and present. For most creators, both microphones are genuinely usable and capable of producing professional quality audio in a reasonably quiet environment. If you are shooting in noisy environments, markets, streets, event venues, you will want an external microphone regardless of which camera you choose. Neither onboard mic is going to save you from crowd noise. Who should buy what? All right. You stuck with me through 14 minutes of footage analysis, lens flares, beauty mode experiments, and one very undignified sprint test. Here is your payoff, the clear, honest answer to which camera you should actually buy. The DJI Pocket 4 Pro is the right choice if you fall into any of these categories. You love color grading. The DLog 2 profile is the best log implementation in a pocket camera right now, and if you have the skills to use it, you will unlock footage quality that rivals cameras 3 times the price. You shoot telephoto slow motion regularly. The DJI Pocket 4P shoots 4K at 200 frames per second on its telephoto lens, a capability the Luna Ultra does not match. If telephoto slow motion is a tool in your creative kit, DJI wins this specifically. You need maximum storage. 103 gigabytes means you can shoot all day at high-quality settings without stopping to manage your files. You care about value. The DJI Pocket 4 Pro costs less than the Luna Ultra, and with future firmware updates closing the current image processing gap. The price-to-performance ratio here is outstanding. You shoot portrait-focused content. The f1.8 telephoto aperture, combined with DJI's portrait tracking modes and subject detection, makes this the best camera in its class for clean, professional-looking talking header vlog-style content. The Insta360 Luna Ultra is the right choice if you fall into these categories. You want 8K recording. The Luna Ultra is the only camera in this comparison that shoots 8K at 30 frames per second in Dolby Vision. If resolution headroom, future-proofing, or aggressive cropping in post matters to your workflow, this is a significant and exclusive capability. You want great footage straight out of camera. The Leica Summicron lenses, built-in color temperature sensor, and Leica-tuned iLog processing mean your footage looks natural and beautiful with minimal post-production work. Shoot, edit, upload. Done. You are a solo creator who films yourself constantly. The detachable screen is not a gimmick, it is a workflow revolution for anyone who shoots themselves from creative angles without an assistant. You shoot a lot of close-up telephoto content. The 15-centimeter minimum focus distance gives you creative capabilities that DJI simply cannot match. You shoot heavy daily workloads and do not have time to professionally color grade every clip. The Luna Ultra's processing philosophy is designed around getting beautiful footage fast, and it absolutely delivers on that promise. One more thing, and this is the most important thing I can tell you. In log mode, with a shared LUT applied, these cameras produce footage so similar that professional colorists would struggle to tell them apart on a blind test. The biggest differentiator between them is not sensor size, aperture, or even price. It is workflow. It is how you actually work, how much time you have, and what part of the creative process brings you the most joy. Answer that question honestly, and the right camera will be obvious. Final thoughts. I want to be real with you for one final moment before you close this tab and go make your purchase decision. I spent a lot of time with both of these cameras, more time than most reviews will give you. And the thing that surprised me most was not any technical specification or test result. It was this: both of these cameras make you excited to shoot. Both of them fit in a jacket pocket. Both of them produce footage that 6 months ago would have required a significantly more expensive and significantly more complicated setup to achieve. We are living in genuinely remarkable times for compact cameras, and both DJI and Insta360 deserve real credit for what they have built here. If you are still on the fence, here is my final gut check question for you. Imagine you are leaving for a 2-week trip tomorrow. You can only take one camera. Which one did you picture yourself packing while you were watching this video? video. Go with that one. Your instincts are usually right. If this video helped you make that decision or at least got you significantly closer, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach other creators who are trying to make the same call. If you subscribe, I am going to be doing a 6-month revisit of both cameras once the firmware has matured on the DJI side, and that video is going to be fascinating, because I think the landscape might look quite different by then. Drop a comment below telling me which camera you are going with and what kind of content you create. I read every single comment, and I will reply to as many as I can. Thank you for watching. Go make something great.